Yeah, we love you, Raj.
Awesome. Hi, guys. Welcome to About the Mind podcast. Today, we'll be talking about parenting. And I have Ashwin the Beach Yogi with me here, giving us his wisdom and teaching us some very interesting things. Welcome, Ashwin.
Thanks, Yuvraj. Looking forward to talking about this because it's a subject very close to my heart. We may not be parents, but we've all been parented, so everybody understands this subject of
Yeah.
parenting. Yeah.
Okay. So, this is something which this question is something which I have always thought about. And I've thought about from my personal perspective also, as in what I might want in the future, and I also thought about
Mm-hmm.
in a general, why the world works in this manner, from that perspective also. The
Mm-hmm.
question is, why do people want to have
Mm-hmm.
kids, especially given that we have such a large population now. There are countries where there are kids who don't have parents. They could be adopted, for example. So it's not about that. Just the need to have a child by itself doesn't seem to be the only reason. In the sense,
Mm-hmm.
you could find a child and you could adopt him. Why do you need to
Mm-hmm.
have your own child, given the
Mm-hmm.
situation the world is currently in? And are there any specific drives that make us feel that we need to have children? So what does yoga say about this?
Well, look, I think a human being is beyond all drives. I think if we want to, if we mind it, we can conquer all drives, except of course hunger.
Yeah.
And we need
And
energy to
beauty.
function, and that's
Yeah.
something also which yogis have conquered. Okay,
Okay.
so to tell yourself that you're a victim of a drive, and that you do unreasonable things because you're a victim of a drive,
Yeah.
is selling yourself short as a human being. You're much more than that.
Yeah.
You're much better than that.
Yeah.
So to everybody who thinks that they're having children because it's a drive, then I say you're really much better than that. Is
Okay.
it right to have children when the earth is so overpopulated? Is it practical? Do you want to spend all of your money looking after a kid who's probably not going to be grateful to you for looking after them anyway? They'll think that they could have done the job of parenting better than you. Most kids are ungrateful, all right,
Yeah.
and very very few people actually enjoy having children, and
Hmm.
I think mm, we should be adding to our happiness with everything that we do. And if you are sure that a child is going to add to your happiness, then by all means go ahead and have the child. But then here it's all about when a child is born, it's completely helpless and dependent upon you. So you better know the story. I don't think many parents realize that there is a past life story between them and their kids. And if that is not a happy story, then the child has been born solely to torture you. And you're gonna suffer a lot because of that kid. And lots of people do. And if the child turns out to have some kind of congenital problem or a chronic disease or a chronic mental illness, then the parent is stuck to that child forever. The joy of having a child, actually, one of the parents told me, the joy of having a child I understood when he left the home. That's when I felt. That's when I felt the most joy. And many parents are tearing their hair out because they didn't think this through. They
Hmm.
just swallowed this doctrine, and my God, it takes a toll because you cannot abandon it, and you're a bad person if you abandon your child. If you say, I'm tired of having this child, I need a break for like 6 months, you can't. There's no break. If there is hell, then it is having children because you can't divorce them because they're so dependent on you. So now what you gonna do? And people don't divorce each other also because of their children. So they remain in a they know they can't treat each other with respect. They know it's not possible for them to treat each other with respect, but still they're staying under the same roof, is sleeping on the same bed, and pretending in front of the child that everything is all right. And that child grows up fully mentally disturbed because it's not got any positive examples of love. So that child uh, starts to seek the same from other people, the same abuse, and they think that abuse is love.
Hmm.
And a lot of people walking around today who think abuse is love.
Because they don't even
So
have the data that anything else is possible.
yeah, so
Good relationship
please
is possible.
don't swallow this teaching that it's a drive to have children. It's not. If you don't want to, you shouldn't. Get a dog or something, or a cat, whichever dies faster.
Yeah. Okay. So amongst
And
the range,
the audience, one minute, 1 minute, 1 minute.
yeah,
The audience, if you're watching and you want to participate, and you want to ask questions, come on, guys. This is your scene. Like, just like, if anything is eating you, if anything is bothering you, and you want to know what to do about it, just put your question in the comments, and I might have an answer for it. Yeah, thanks. Sorry, go on, Yuvraj.
yeah. I was just trying to think of the possible reason that I have come across about what people have told me and what I have understood just by observing people. Like one
Hmm.
of them is, say, fear of loneliness. That once I'm old and I need someone to, talk to or take care of me, or maybe,
Oh,
just know that
why
there's
can't
someone.
you be more social, man? Why can't you just be more social and be more useful to society? Then, it's so much easier than having a child, you know?
Yeah,
Like, solve a big problem in the world, and you'll always have people around you. You'll never be lonely, uncared for, none of it. And take care of your health. Invest in learning about your health. I have so many courses about how you can stay healthy. In fact, how you can stay immortal. So who wants to learn? Come and learn. Don't have a child. My course is just 1.66 lakhs. That's it. Having a child is very costly.
yeah,
That's the fees you'll pay for 1 month for his kindergarten. 1.66 lakhs.
yeah.
What you'll pay to learn how to be healthy forever. So, I mean, you just invest all that money in yourself that you're going to splurge and waste on your child.
But but this drive itself, is it also some sort of maybe an agama karma, maybe some ancestral?
Okay, Yuvraj has gone offline, but his question was whether this is itself in some kind of karma. Okay, and yes, indeed. The whole concept of us hanging around with another human being for the rest of our life is just karma, right? Hey, you vanished for a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I
You
rejected him for
you were
some reason.
asking me about karma, right?
Yeah,
Isn't
this,
this just karma?
yeah, that,
Why people have a kid and it's not really a drive? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, that it's there's some sort of fear, maybe that fear of loneliness, fear of abandonment, some version of that, maybe some
Yeah,
of us
well,
were, because we did not have enough health and their children went for a war or something and they were like, I need to have more children so that there's someone to take care of me, something like that.
that's what you're asking. Okay, like an ancestral fear library
Yeah,
that you need to produce more kids. Oh, well, yeah, okay, but what's the excuse, man? You can stop it, right?
yeah,
There's so many things we've overcome, right?
yeah,
We used to treat certain people as untouchables, and in some places in India they still do. But we managed to make some progress on that. We used to
yeah,
teach women as objects, and now, at least in some places in India, we're not. It's not so bad as it used to
yeah,
be,
yeah,
right? So we can make progress like that, and it's where's the will, where's the sincerity? If there's will and sincerity, yes, indeed, we can make all this progress. We can grow. We can grow outside of all of these conditionings. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Kunal has a question. Thanks, Kunal. And the question is here: what if one parent wants a child and the other doesn't, but is under pressure from society? How does it affect the development of the child? If one parent wants a child and the other doesn't, they won't have a child, man. So Yeah, but I know what you mean, because this becomes a big fighting issue, and I think you should quickly get divorced and find someone who wants to have a child. Yeah, and the other doesn't, but is under pressure from society. How does it affect the development of the child? Well, depends. At some point, the person who didn't want the child can say, "Yeah, maybe I need the child." Yeah, I know someone who cut the condoms of her husband who was refusing to have a child. She made holes in it, and
To
then she got
pregnant.
pregnant. And you know, and then she was like, she says now that the guy really loves their child, and he says, I don't know what I would do without that child. So it depends. It depends. But then people can violate each other's consent, and then they can have Stockholm syndrome. They can love each. They can love it. So it's there. It's possible. All right. So you can love something that you hated 6 months ago.
Mm.
Okay. So it depends a lot. And how does it affect the development of the child? The child learns that it's okay to have Stockholm syndrome. And yeah, that's about it. And that's the whole country, right? I mean, if everybody thinks it's okay uh, to love those who abuse you, and abuse is love. This is very common idea. So that's how it affects the child, and it has already. And if one wants a boy and the other wants a girl, does it affect the child? Yeah, sure, man. Why not? Then the one who wanted, suppose a child's a boy and then someone wanted a girl, they probably try to make a girl out of the boy or a boy out of the girl, which is a really sad thing to do. Like, let the child decide his gender, no? Why do you have to make decisions? Even if the biological gender is one way, the child still has a decision to make about what spectrum they want to be on the gender, and you should encourage that and let it happen. No, that doesn't happen. So this is what will happen to this child is what happens to lesbian or gay children, and the parents
Yeah.
start forcing them to not be lesbian. Yeah. Can't you just not be lesbian? Do you have to be lesbian all the time? You know, you yeah, you do.
Many don't realize for like many years that what they actually are attracted to, whom they actually are attracted to.
They are in denial because of society's strong gender binaries. So I think it's stupid. Anyway,
I was going to ask you who should not have a child.
everybody.
Nobody should have a child.
Anybody who's unconscious should not have a child. Anybody
Hmm.
who's consciously having the child, and they really have a vision for having a child, they have reason for having a child beyond I need somebody to take care of me. That's a stupid, selfish reason to have a kid. That's really not why I should have a kid. Have a kid because you feel that you're going to contribute something to this world. You're gonna do some awesome parenting, and you're gonna create an asset for the planet. Then you have a child. Otherwise, you'll end up creating one more dharti pe boj. I'm not a misanthrope. I love people, but I have to make those. I have to repair those people before they become worthy of loving themselves
Hmm.
because of bad parenting. First I have to teach them to love themselves. Then only they can accept my love. Otherwise, they'll feel like your love is unfair. You're giving it to me. I don't really deserve it, and they'll have one whole big imposter syndrome. It seems the president of New Zealand has imposter syndrome. She feels that she's going to be found out and all this popularity is just going to go away because I'm not really the person who people think I'm. It's a mental health issue. So I think such people are not capable of contributing. I mean, not to say that she hasn't contributed. She's really contributed. But I'm telling you, if she didn't have the imposter syndrome, she would contribute a lot more. Her capacity is so big, and she's probably working at a fraction of her capacity, and even that is great. So yeah, why do we need that? Why do we need people working sub potential? Why can't we have everybody working at their full potential? It's because of bad parenting that people get ideas about what they can and what they can't do. I think we should be conscious parents.
Yeah. What do you think about this? I mean, this is something which a few people have told me, and I found it like really interesting. I hadn't thought about it in this particular manner. Uh, some people want to have a child because they want to experience from another perspective their own growth as a human being, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. As in, they
Mhm.
want to see how they grew up, and they want to see it from a third perspective.
It's called vicarious enjoyment.
Yeah,
There's
sort
a
of.
word for it. Yeah. So we see our child's progress and we think it's our own progress,
Yeah,
and we feel
this
that
is
I
how we.
did that. The child is busting its backside and working, right?
Yeah. Oh no,
And
no, not that, not that. It's like that's
no,
what parents. That's how you get parents pushing the child to doing things he
mhm,
probably doesn't want
mhm.
to do, but the
Okay,
parent.
not that. Let
Not
me
that. Not
understand it better. Tell it, tell it to me in another way, so that I understand it.
so they want to see themselves growing up, as in they want to have an
Ah,
experience
they
where
feel if I don't have a child, I cannot progress spiritually. I cannot progress
no, no,
emotionally. No,
no,
no.
like
What am
when
I
they were
missing?
growing up, what their
Hmm.
parents saw from their parents' perspective, that is, they want to experience it again, like from another person's perspective, how they grew up.
Ah, okay, okay. They want to see the other side of being a parent because they've only seen it from a child's side.
Yes, yes. So they want them to see how they. It's sort of what I understood. It's probably a sort of a learning kind of an experience, as in how this whole process happened.
Possibly, possibly a legitimate reason to have a child. I don't know. I still feel like can't really. Uh, my only objection to this kind of stuff is what if the child doesn't want to be there for that ride of your growth?
Hmm.
And then, you know, you're stuck together. It's going to cause another ruckus, it's going to cause another emotional problem.
Hmm.
But yeah, if the child's okay with it, then it's okay. You can get the child to have Stockholm syndrome and be okay with it. I would find it hard to be okay with, I was produced just so that you can grow. What kind of a reason was that for producing me? I
As
don't
in
feel
you
that,
can
man. Yeah, I mean, if my
let him
parents
grow.
said that we produced you so that we can grow, we
Hmm.
produced you so that we can learn more, we can experience parenthood from the parents' perspective. We wanted to know what our parents are going through. That's the reason we had you.
Hmm.
And I'm like, what's my value in this world? Like, what problem did you actually want to solve by having me? I don't know. I'm not born with any purpose. Now I have to find my life's purpose, damn it. Because your purpose is really stupid. Because why can't parents give their child a gift of purpose? I would love to have gotten a gift of purpose from my parents.
How can they do that? As in, what should they do in order to do that?
I don't know. You need to study a lot more about how a soul chooses a parent. People
Hmm.
don't want to study that. They think a soul doesn't choose. It's just biological. It's just me. The sperm meets the egg and it just happens. It can happen in a test tube also, okay? So there's no soul involved here. So people are in that mood. So then there's no soul's purpose. It's all random. It's just things happening. It's biological. It's reproduction. I'm a gorilla. Ho, ho, ho. No, man. You're a spiritual being. You have to understand your own purpose first. If two people who understand their purpose can create a purpose for their child, that child will be born with a purpose. But who are those two beings who say, I know this is this problem I'm solving in the world right now? How many people can say this? This is the problem I'm solving in the world right now. This is the problem my partner is solving in the world right now. And here's a problem that our child can solve right now. And this is how all the children were born in the Puranas, right? Muruga, Ganesha, they were all born to solve problems. Durga was given birth to by, uh, you know, like Chamundi was given birth to by all the gods. Why did they give birth to her? To solve a particular problem. How's that? People being born for a purpose. It's only in the legends and Puranas that it happens. It doesn't happen in real life. Why? Because we think it's all gas. It's not gas. I wish people took it seriously. Then we would have like amazingly purposeful kids coming out. Now everybody like, I don't know my purpose, tell me my purpose. They're crying around, they're just like doing all sorts of stuff, wasting their life, destroying their youth, falling sick and dying early because you don't have a purpose in life. What do you have to keep yourself fit and healthy for? No idea. They don't know.
That's why they don't feel motivated also to
No.
act. They don't feel
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. Then they become motis and motas because they just have no purpose. They don't need to look good. They don't need to keep themselves beautiful and fit for any reason. They don't have any reason to exist. That's why they're sick.
Yeah.
Big problem, huh?
And I noticed this idea that everything is biological because I studied biology and I went through that phase where I thought, let me try to understand the world from this biological perspective.
It's a
But
very small lens. Yeah.
yeah, I realized that later. But I also realized as I was, letting go of this conditioning, that people who are actually solving these problems from where we understood that it's probably just biology happening,
Hmm.
they don't think that it is just biology happening. They still have their mind open that what else is going on here. They have not shut themselves down. It's just people who are following them and who are trying to learn from them, they start accepting whatever they have written. They haven't seen that what the person was actually thinking while writing it.
Yeah, man. It's a big problem, you know. The biggest problem Christ has are his followers. The biggest problem any prophet has is their followers because they follow half, they understand half, and they follow half of what they understand. And then there's like some really small percentage of implementation. So it's very important for a teacher, a spiritual teacher, or a leader, or a scientist, or a thought leader, or whoever, to ensure that everybody gets it, who's listening to them. I don't know how far that's possible, but at least you can put out courses and train at least a few people who get it, so that they can say, "Hey, man, what you got is not correct." Uh, I think it's important. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to bring out people who actually understand what the hell I'm saying, but it's difficult because people don't have that patience. They don't want to get it. They just want to get into feeling learned without learning. It's a
Yeah.
it's a big rush and it's a big karma. So I mean, if we can learn to take out that karma, yeah, we can figure it out, man. It's not something we can't figure out. We should know that this happens, and then we should take precautions and do our best
Yeah.
and learn. Anyway, that's a teacher's problem.
Yeah. Let's get back to the topic on hand.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, what do so when a child is born, what did what do they expect from a parent?
Hmm.
Because
What does a
a
child
lot of
expect from their parent?
yeah, a lot of parents may have different opinions about what they're supposed to do.
I'll
So
tell you what I expected. I know that children expect to be told what is their purpose and direction. They want to be shown it. They want to be shown this, and they want to feel it, and they want to know this, and they want to see that they're biologically equipped for that kind of purpose, and they find that it's easy for them, right? So somewhere a lioness will tell its cub, "Hey man, your purpose is to go and eat deer or whatever." It shows it that that's your purpose. Yeah, your purpose is to go and eat this. Do it. Lion is clear. No spiritual confusion. Why am I born? Who am I? Hmm?
yeah,
Mosquito
what do
knows.
I
Yeah?
want? Yeah.
Go and bite others. Mosquito mother teaches. I mean, it's
Mm.
biologically passed on. Mosquito mothers don't teach, but they biologically pass on this information that you should go bite people. That's your purpose. Suck their blood and try not to get killed. So
Yeah.
they're clear about it. The mosquitoes biting me, they're not having self doubt. Have you seen any mosquito with self doubt? Me neither,
Maybe I
man.
should buy. Maybe I should buy it. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah,
Let
just
me
sitting there.
find a
No,
moral
man.
to.
This is just
Yeah.
mercilessly biting.
Yeah.
All the self doubt is happening because we don't know our purpose. Then it's very easy when we know our purpose, like, this is my purpose. Does this action fall in line with my purpose? Should I have this beer? We don't know. But we don't know, then we take a sip and then we're not sure. Like, I'm so clear I shouldn't be having this beer because I have a purpose and I don't want to be a bloody drunk. So I don't have it, right? People are, I can't quit smoking. You know why you can't quit smoking? Because you don't have a bloody purpose. If you had a purpose, you'd have seen that smoking causes cancer, kills your lungs. So um, it's going against your purpose. So drop it. And this is the gift that parents have not given us. They don't have it themselves. How will they give what they don't have? We've normalized being dysfunctional. Every cell in your body has a purpose, but you don't have a purpose. Wow, 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 amazing.
Yeah.
Every like immunoglobulin has a purpose. Like small cellets, like IGs have a purpose. What about you? No, me, no, not anything in particular. I just want to chill, and I'm tired of working, so I'm going to chill. Yeah, I'm just gonna. My purpose is relief. The people are acting like they always have a full bladder. They're always seeking relief.
From relief from what? Stress.
Yeah, some stress, pain. You know how it is when you have full bladder, right? All you want is relief. You can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
So the whole life is a bladder. It's a giant bladder, and it keeps getting full of shit, like full of urine. Then they need to relieve themselves. They need to relieve themselves. Okay, people's life is bowels and bladders. B&B of life.
Yeah.
Bowel of relationship, bladder of poverty, bowel of poor health. They want relief from these. So that's why they're taking a dump on each other because no
Yeah.
purpose. How can relief be a purpose, man? You came here to get into trouble and then get relieved of it. Or what? My only joy is relief. Let me get quick relief. Let me smoke this cigarette for quick relief. This all is happening because you don't have a purpose. You were produced without purpose, and you think that you're still without purpose, and you can't choose a purpose. Of course, you can choose a purpose. You have to care enough. If you don't care enough, how can you choose a purpose? Kids produced. Nobody's linked up purpose and kids in any podcast that I've listened to.
Yeah.
Why?
Nobody has said.
They have to. Kids, purpose. Purposeful human beings. Purposeful cells, purposeful human beings. Every electron has purpose. Every proton has purpose. Every neutron has purpose. But humans, no. No. We're made up of these things, but we don't have. It's just random. Next question.
Okay. Yeah. So, what skill should a parent have? Because in order to be able to tell the kids, they need to start preparing from maybe a few years
All
back.
the parents have to do is decide which problem they're going to solve in their life. If they decide
Right.
that, then they'll teach that to the kids.
Mm.
You have to empathize first. You have to empathize with the problems in the world and say, "Ye mera hai. This problem is mine to solve. I'm going to solve it."
Mm.
That means you have to feel the problems. You can't just sit seeking pleasure all the time. You have to seek problems. Then only you'll get purpose. And be like, yeah, I'm going to solve this problem. Okay? All right. Hi, Harish. Irony of Western sciences, says Kunal. Yeah. Okay.
So, when does a child stop needing a parent? I mean, of course, in the initial days, it's all It's quite biological a need because they need to be fed and taken care
Child
of.
needs a nurse, not a parent. Child only needs a nurse. Child never needed a parent. Child needs a community that's purposeful. Then the child understands, oh, I also have a purpose. I also want this. Yeah. You know,
Mm.
when I said that when I when I initiated people into yoga for the first time, I said I'll give them a rudraksh, and then lockdown happened, and I couldn't get my rudrakshas from Nepal. So, but then everybody asked me, "Where's my rudraksh?" You know.
Mm.
So when in a community, when everybody is doing something, then everybody wants to do it. Everybody wants to know, where's mine? Where's mine? Where's mine? You know. So what if we named people according to the purpose? They could change their name later. Now we name them something as a tentative name, like how you get a temporary registration.
Yeah.
It's temporary until you become 7 or 8, and then you find out what problem you're going to solve and you change your name. You change your name again when you're solving a new problem. Change your name each time. That's what yogis do. We change our name according to the purpose we're solving. If I call myself Pashupati, then there's a problem I'm solving of people being Pashus, and I'm leading them into mastery. Yeah, Pati means master. So mastering the animal. I'm teaching people to master their inner animal and be purposeful human beings. This is what I'm doing. I'm solving that problem. Well, I got tired of that. And I managed to pass on the torch successfully. And it's happening. It's not yet fully happened. It's in the process. But I got my second purpose already. And it's Srinivasa, to embed myself in the study of nature, to stay in nature, to immerse myself in nature and Prakriti, to understand what she is, to really experience her in all her facets, experienceable. That's my new purpose. I'm going to do it. I'm going to share that with the world, what I learn, and that'll be my purpose in the future, in 2021. So my purpose changed this year after 7 years. People who got their yoga names 1 week ago are now thinking they'll have another one next week. It takes time. You got to fulfill that purpose, and then you get another purpose. So we should know what our purpose is. And I make it so easy for people. Their purpose comes from inside them. Your purpose is always coming from inside you, it's not coming from outside. You decide your purpose. Okay? Yeah.
So and now I want to talk a bit about the education a child needs. Uh,
Hmm.
there is this idea is everywhere that schools don't work, other than providing certain infrastructure which is necessary for certain crafts. They don't really
Everyone,
work.
including the school, knows that they don't work. It's just emperor's clothes.
Yeah. So what kind of education does a child really need, if not what they are getting from the
One
school?
that enables his or her purpose. So simple.
It's going to be customized for
Yeah.
every person.
Yeah.
And how
Human beings
can
can specialize in things, and then we work together by exchanging our specialities, unlike other animals. All other animals also do this, by the way. Ants do this, and wolves do this, and a lot of mammals organize themselves as specialists in some things, and we should also know what we're specialized in. If we don't know that, then we're screwed. I mean, whatever education you got is not gonna. You're trained for something. Yeah, I'm trained to make sculptures. Do I feel like making sculptures? No, I don't. I'm trained also to. I'm trained in electronics. Apparently, I can take apart your laptop and then turn it into something even better. No, I can't, because I'm not interested in that. That was the wrong thing that I was trained in. Why was I trained in electronics? Because all the other courses seemed like a big nightmare to me, so I took electronics. This is how people choose their specialty. Can I quit from humanity? I'm back.
Yeah, I also did something like this, not
Hmm.
to the point that I thought I liked that particular subject. I studied science. I
Yeah.
thought I liked, I liked it for a while, but I think it changed, and I did not realize that my interest has changed, and I kept on going in that direction because after a point, it was very difficult to convince everyone that this is not what I want to do. But anyway, I realize this now. I didn't realize this when this was happening. I was because the subject is interesting in itself, but the system is such, the
Hmm.
scholastic system is such that after 10th standard you have to decide your subject and you have to stick with it for the rest of
Yeah.
your life. That's what they're told. That's what the kids are told. And even though they understand that it is about the skills, I think most students understand it's about the skills, not about the kind of training that you're getting. If you have the right skills, you should be able to do that work, and that should be enough. But
Hmm.
for some reason, the system is such that you have to have a degree, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to get into a good college.
None
Only
of it
then
is
you're
true.
open.
Yeah, none of it is true. It's a big lie. That whole system is a lie. Look at me, for example. What do I do for a profession? I cure people from serious diseases. Do I have any degree remotely in anything medical? No, not even biochemistry. I don't have a degree in any of that. But I love the subject. I'm so passionate about the subject that I know that, that you can have different kinds of diseases from only a few fundamental causes. I understand this. And I'm able to diagnose it and I'm able to cure it. The way I teach it, I teach people medicine in 6 months. I teach people medicine in 6 months because I've been so passionate about it that that's all you need to learn. And same with martial arts. I was very passionate about martial arts. I mean, self defense. Martial arts for me makes no meaning. Martial arts is meaningless. You have to have martial arts for health or martial arts for self defense. Then it makes meaning. Martial arts for war? Why do I need war? I don't need war.
Yeah.
So I was very passionate about martial arts for health and martial arts for self defense. And I used to teach self defense in 4 hours, and all of my teachers got pissed off. They're like, "How can you teach for 4 hours?" I got thrown out of classes because, "Oh, you already arrived teaching people self defense in 4 hours? Get out of my class." And I left gladly because they were idiots. I got thrown out of classes, and some Japanese humiliation ceremony also happened. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. That was bizarre. So, uh, yeah, that's what it is. And now, when I get famous and when if it starts coming out that I'm curing all these people, then they'll gang up against me, no? The establishment. I'm ready for it. Okay, here it is. Kavya has a comment. We are getting trained and programmed in masses by the education system while the purpose is unique individually, like mass extortion. You got it, Kavya. That's what's going on. You have to find your uniqueness and your beauty. The onus to find it is up to you. Like you have to do it. You don't have any other go. Okay? Good. I know you're doing it. Good job. What's next, man?
I was thinking about why it happens, and
Uh-huh.
I realized it's just because people are afraid. They want to be secure. They don't want to, transcend what they already know. I mean, talking about the teachers and the establishment, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
anybody has this motive that I am going to teach and this is what everybody should follow, and I'm going to be a dictator and
Mm-hmm.
bhad mein gaya sabka purpose. I don't think they're thinking in that fashion.
Yeah, they're not evil for sure. They're idiots.
Hmm. Okay. So, how can a parent get over their own traumas, or whatever they have learned from their parents, so that
YouTube.com/C/Guru Pashupati. Go watch everything twice. You'll get over all your traumas and your nonsense.
okay.
That's my YouTube channel, Guru Pashupati. YouTube.com/C/Guru Pashupati. Yeah. Who wants to get over trauma? Go here. You didn't know about this.
I, of course, I know.
Not you. I'm talking about people in general.
People, okay.
Come on, guys. Why don't you know that this can take away all your trauma? YouTube.com/C/Guru Pashupat. Oh shit, I spelled it wrong. I'm so sorry. Let me put this in a banner. Give me a second. Important stuff. YouTube.com, everybody knows. You just have to add a slash she slash my name, Guru Pashupati. Ta-da! Go here. This is the answer to how can you decondition yourself, find a purpose, stop being stupid, and prosper. Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on. I have another comment from Akshay, and she's saying, "Why is it that things work like this? What is the way to beat these kinds of vicious cycles of hate and resentment for the right things?" It's karma. And you did attend my Karma Visarjana course. I mean, you paid for it, but you didn't watch the videos. So now watch the videos. I have already solved this problem. It is called karma, and all cycles are part of karma. And if you learn Karma Visarjana, you can get out of all these traps and cycles. Okay, guys, come on. Let's not behave as if, you know, these lovely things don't exist. They exist. All your answers to all of your problems are just there. Okay? Cycles of hates and resentments. Yeah. Best way to beat it is karma visarjana. Non-violently, just get it out of your life. And there are many videos I produced after that. Especially in the group, I shared a video. I've not made this video public. It's called Show Me Your Beauty. Go to the Karma Visarjana group and look it up. Show Me Your Beauty is a video you have to watch 10 times. If you watch it 10 times, it will change your life. Okay. If anybody wants access to the video Show Me Your Beauty, then just message me and say Show Me the Beauty, and I'll send it to you. Okay.
Okay. So, do you have a question or should I continue?
No questions,
Okay.
no comments. Akshay is saying thanks. Okay, great. Now at least watch it, Akshay. Don't just sit like a duck. Like, go and watch the videos. Come on. All right.
Okay. So, my next question is when the child grows up and they become a teenager, a lot of
Uh-huh.
people say that teenagers are supposed to be cranky, they're supposed to be angry, they start behaving badly with usually
Mm.
with their parents, and not maybe not
Hmm.
with their friend, but usually with their parents. So why
Hmm.
does is there any truth to this, or and
Yes,
why does this why does it happen?
it's true. Uh, Teenagers start feeling cheated. They're not feeling supported. In fact, they're feeling attacked. Parents are supporting them when they are cute, like a little dog. But once they're no longer cute and they have actual questions, parents are like, no, I don't know. I just want to cute you. But
Mm.
answer my question. No, I just want to cute you. Solve my problems. I just want to cute you. What's my purpose? Let's cute. Right? So obviously the teenager goes nuts. Like, come on, man, treat me like an adult. I'm grown up and you're treating me like I'm 6 years old. So when parents grow up and treat their teenagers with respect and actually hear them and listen to them and advise them and support them, they don't act like I have teenage kids. They don't act like that with me, but they act like that with their parents because I'm giving them respect and the parent is not. So it's important to treat people like people. I mean, even a dog doesn't like it when you go, cute, cute, cute doggy, let me pick you up. Ah, I'll bite you. It's exactly what the teenagers are doing. They want to be
Uh,
treated like adults, but they're just like, hey, shut up, you don't know because you're just a kid.
yeah, you don't know anything. Even little kids, they respond a lot better when you treat them as people, not as kids,
Yeah,
like as an
yeah,
equal.
exactly. Not as a little person, but as a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
A personling.
Yeah.
Okay. Sonal, Dr. Sonal has a question. Have we treated causes of more thoughts? No idea what that means, Dr. Sonal. Try again. Try to ask it again in different words. Okay.
Okay. So, uh, sorry, let me just correct my thoughts. I had this question, but I forgot what it was.
Mhm. And if anybody has questions like, why is my son violent to me? Why is my daughter violent to me? Why does they hate me? The answer is you don't treat them like a person. You treat them like, you don't give them, you haven't given them any sense of purpose. You haven't encouraged them to find their purpose. You've thrown a purpose in their face and said, this is your purpose, isko kha le beta. And they're not going to eat it. They're going to hate you.
Yeah. So, my question is, like you said, that how parents behave with the children, they later on that tends to affect their personality and their behavior when they grow up and they are adults, and they tend to behave the same way as they had to
Uh, There's
behave with their
no,
parents.
there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, I
I
mean, no,
think,
I was going to ask like, how can they overcome that?
how can they overcome that? By understanding that life is not about their mama and papa, but life is about their real spiritual purpose in this world.
Mm.
Stop blaming amma and appa and mama and papa and be your own person. Grow up.
And the other unconscious drives, like I've seen several YouTube videos where people are trying to explain, say in the context of relationship or even in career, that people behave a certain way because their parents treated them in that particular fashion, and as a
Hmm.
result of this, there's a sequence of events, and eventually are behaving in that particular way. So
Well, what are we? Like, what are we? Are we a rolling stone and then we'll move according to gravity, or do we have some will? I would like to see people exercise their will to be fabulous. How many of you wake up in the morning and say, let me exercise my will to be fabulous? We can, indeed, do it. But we don't choose this because we don't feel that this is a possibility. I don't know what. We're just getting high being average, whiny creatures. We love that crying. I don't know. I've never had an appetite for this crying. Why do people cry so much? I'm still thinking. I don't know this answer. They'd say a lot of reasons to let themselves off the hook. But I think you should stay on the hook, guys. It's good for humanity. Stay on the hook and say, take that responsibility for behaving. Emotional cleanliness. Unarchi tuimai in Tamil. Emotional cleanliness. Okay.
okay.
It's like an infection. If you get an infection, what will you do? You go swallow all the antibiotics, no? Why you take care of it? Why not you allow the pain to be? But it's the same thing. When you blame someone else for the pain, you get some pleasure like, yeah, it's his fault. You know what you've done by blaming others? You disempowered yourself. Can I fix my problem if I say it's your fault? I can't. You have to fix it because you're the one with the power now, not me. And I feel some kind of superiority in giving up my power. There's a word for it. It's called idiot.
And the reward that they get is just attention of
Yeah.
people.
Low quality attention. They look at you like you're an orangutan and you're like, wow, I love this. Everybody loves my hairy orange coat. So, see, being a spectacle is not the same as being loved, but people think it's the same.
Mm.
Being loved, valued, respected, cared for is not the same as being a spectacle. People will watch an accident also, man. You're just a bloody accident. People are watching you because you're an accident, not because you're of value. Know the difference. Bomb! Okay, what else? Truth bombs.
Okay, I have, I don't have any more questions for you. Like I have satisfied everything that I wanted to ask, and I thought people might want to know.
Okay, guys, Yuvraj is out of question. We have 10 minutes. What do you have to ask? Please ask. I'm ready to answer. About parenting, yeah. About parenting. How can we be
or
the right kind of parents?
or being the child.
Or
I mean,
being the child. What are the responsibilities of a child? Find a purpose. That's your responsibility. Nothing else. Solve a problem in the world. There's no other shortcut to security, man. Otherwise, you're never going to feel valued. Never going to feel valued. How to learn to exercise free will? Well, you have to take two nails and you have to poke them in between your big toes. Now make sure that they're really strong iron nails. You poke them in between your big toes, and then when you get that pain, tell yourself, I'm free to not feel this pain. That's called exercising free will. Okay, just try it today, Kunal. Right? Every every toenail, metaphorically, that you pierced with an iron nail, okay, in your life, tell yourself you're free to not do that anymore. That's called exercising free will. And then you tell everybody, hey, you, and you, from today, I'm not going to take your abuse. Bye bye. And but first, you got to solve a problem in the world, okay? When you're solving a problem in the world, people tolerate you. People not only tolerate you, value you, okay? We don't want to be just tolerated, we want to be valued, right? So people value you when you're solving their problem. Start solving some people's problem, and then you can go and wherever you're not feeling free, you can say, मेरे को ये नहीं करने का है और ये करने की जरूरत भी नहीं है तो मैं क्या बन गया अभी आजाद पंछी and change your name to AP Kunal Pandit. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Let me know. It's not a
yeah,
process, it's not anything. You need to understand that I'm suffering needlessly and just stop it. That's called free will. And then focus your mind on being of value. That's also free will. Like what you're doing right now is also free will. It's through your free will only that you're getting screwed now. Okay, come on, guys.
I
Nobody
have a
has to give you. Hmm.
question.
Yeah, your question. Ask,
Yeah, I
ask.
have a question. So, how can a child, especially if the parents don't know how to teach a child how to find the purpose, how can the child themselves, find the purpose? Do they experiment different things and see what they like and they don't like? Is that the correct method, or is there any other way to do it?
Nobody can find all these things and get out of the problem without a teacher. Find a proper teacher who's compassionate enough to take you out of all that stuff by giving you the right slaps whenever you need it. Then you'll come out. Okay? Because I was also an idiot until I found my teacher. I found my teacher, he gave me a lot of slaps and told me you're an idiot constantly. And I'm like, yeah, that's correct. At some point, I started understanding it. It's not Stockholm syndrome. He's telling me because I'm getting in my own way. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, he's, he's been of great value. I start listening to him. And then when I started listening to him, things worked out in my life. Simple. Ah, yes,
And
got it, says Kunal. Thank you, Kunal.
in scenarios where the parents oppose your purpose, like the child wants to, maybe they have some inkling because this is something which is very, this is a problem which I really want to solve. I want to give it a shot. Let me see whether I, fail or
Mm,
whether I succeed. Doesn't matter. But the
mm,
parents don't want them to do it. Like someone wants to learn music and they're like, no, you can't learn music because it's waste of time. You should study. So what can a child do in that case? What
Become a
options they
master of your finances. That's what I did when I was 12 years old. I started a company when I was 12 and I started making more money than my parents, so they could never tell me what to do again. It's so important, guys. Earn a living, be of value. I started selling UPS and stabilizers and things like that. And that earned me quite a bit in commissions. So learn to sell somebody else's product first. Everybody can learn to sell someone else's product. It's so easy. You have to learn sales. If you learn sales, you'll make money. Yeah? Sales is revenue generation. People already have marketed the product, but it's not selling. So then you have to sell it. If you say, I'm going to sell it, then you can demand up to 25% of the money by doing maybe 5% of the work. So sales is great profitable thing to learn. So everybody learns sales. Sales is empathy. Sales is telling the customer how your product will actually solve their problem and how this has solved the problem and removing their three objections. There's a concept objection they may have, like I don't understand how this can solve my problem. Then you got to remove that objection saying, hey, this concept actually works because. And then they say it's a trust objection saying, who are you, what is your credentials, I don't know whether to trust you. So that objection also you have to remove by putting forward the person's credentials. And the third thing that they have, the third objection that they have is called a results objection, saying this might work for others, but I am somebody who's never consistent with anything, so it's not going to work for me. That's called a result objection. So learn to take away all these three objections after offering them the value, and you have their attention. To get their attention, you have to do like a 5-step process. Yeah, first you have to talk to their frustrations. Then you have to show them how their frustrations can become their ambitions, how their frustrations can turn into what they aspire for, how their frustrations can become their aspirations using your invention, whatever the invention is. Invention is the new product, yeah. And then you show them, give them a deadline, saying if you don't act by now, this time, then you will, and then ask them to take an action, which is buy. Then they'll come up with objections. Answer one of these. They'll have one of these three objections. So answer that objection and you have made a sale. So if you learn this process, it's a lot easier than going to college and learning some useless degree. Like Kunal studied geology and you studied biology and I studied electronics. What's the use, right? Instead, if we had studied sales, and I've already taught you what sales is right now: frustration, ambition, uh, invention, deadline, action. FAIDA, FIDA. Okay. And then there is three kinds of objection: the concept objection, where they have an objection to this method itself doesn't work. And then there's another objection, which is a trust objection, saying you don't work. And then there is the results objection, saying I don't work. Okay.
Hmm.
I suck, you suck, and the product sucks.
That's yeah.
So it's three sucks. Okay. You answer those three sucks, and then you made a sale and you made money. And anybody can understand this. Even a 10-year-old can understand this. And if they start selling stuff online using these principles, they'll make more money than the parents. I can guarantee you this. Now you can take choices of your own. If the parents say, don't study music, you'll say, I'm paying for the lessons. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's all it is. If they say, I will physically tie you up, hire some rowdies with your money to come and beat up your parents who tie you up. Hmm?
Yeah.
There is muscle for hire, and you or use your money to take martial art classes. There's very few problems that can't be solved with money. Especially these bullying problems, they can all be solved with money. So basically, asking me what to do if parent bullies, without bringing money into the equation, it's just bullying that's going to happen. Nothing else. All right. Looks like we're at the end of the podcast, though. Does anybody have any other questions? Oh wait, Akshay has something. Maybe politically incorrect, but in my experience, I've seen many people who once, after becoming parents and being put out there with a challenge that they were not prepared for, completely break as they see it as a personal failure. Yes, they do. Yeah, many parents see themselves as a personal failure and then they want to do a personal cover up of it. If you see yourself as a personal failure, what will you do next? You go learn something, right? But this is not what people do. They do cover up, operation cover up, by blaming others. Okay? So this sort of process ends up destroying the child and the family in ways that they are never able to fix. How does someone help folks like this? Well, asking for a friend, no, Akshay. Okay. So this sort of process ends up destroying the child and the family in ways that many are not able to fix. No, there's no unfixable destruction. Okay, there's no unfixable destruction. Nothing can be fixed. Um, Depends on the intention. If you intensely want to fix it, it can be done. How intensely do you want to fix it? Let me ask you that. If the answer is intense as fuck, then you can fix it. Okay, add an AF after the intense, and you can fix it. Okay? Do it. Yeah. Everything that I've fixed today, I've fixed so many people's health problems because I intensely wanted to. I didn't know how to. You don't have to know how to do anything. You have to want it intensely. And somehow we cannot bring that intensity because we're so distracted by so many things. This blame has to stop. If you blame something, blame circumstances, blame this, blame that, everything has power except you. Okay? So don't do that. Don't blame this and that. All right? Okay. All right, guys, we're at the end of today's podcast, and I think Yuvraj has checked out again with his internet connection. Fortunately, my connection is better, and I'm still here. So I hope you don't have any further questions. Wait, Yuvraj is slowly crawling back. Give me a second. He's showing up on my dashboard, but he's just white like a ghost. See, he's all black. Oh, he's black here, but he's white in another place. All right, let's wait for Yuvraj.
I'm back.
If Yuvraj manages to show up, then yeah, here you are.
I'm back.
Welcome back,
Thank
bro. So, uh, abandoning me like parents, huh? Okay, I hope you guys got value out of the show. And to conclude, if you have any more questions, just shoot. Maybe I can spend like 1 more minute. But if not, then let's call it a day. If you got value and you have no questions, follow Kunal's read and type NQGV in the chat box. If you have no questions and you got value, all right. And yeah, I've given you all the solutions out there. It's all about stop blaming people, implement the solution, then think work. If you're getting pleasure out of beating yourself up and blaming yourself and other people and saying suck, 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 I suck, you suck, product sucks. If you're sitting over there, you're not going to have power. Okay, so don't suck. Have power. Okay, you have anything to say, Yuvraj?
No, I don't.
Ah, look at
Thank you.
this. Harish is giving us praise. Take it, Yuvraj. This podcast has answered many of my questions, which I was waiting to hear. Thank you, Harish. I'm
Thank you.
glad
Thank you
you
so
could.
much.
I'm glad we could be of use. All right. Okay, okay. If it has solved some problem for you and it got value, you know what to do. Hit share, guys. Hit share. Okay. Got value, Divya Abhirami. Hit share. Got value, Kunal. Hit share right away. Okay. Share this. Share this. More people need to hear about the mind. It's the best podcast about the mind in the entire universe. So please tune in next week at 7 o'clock on Thursday. All right. Hopefully, I'll have internet connection. If I don't, then it'll be deferred by a few days and we keep you posted. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ashwin.
Thank you, Yuvraj. Bye.
Bye.